All right, guys. So we are going to start seated, and I recommend either sitting up on a cushion or you can grab your yoga blanket or your towel. You don't have to sit cross-legged, that's fine. Just come into a comfortable seat. If you have a chair nearby or if you're near a sofa, you can always start seated in that as well. So it's really important for today's class that you do only what feels safe for you. And if at any point you find that your breath is being hindered, if your body's telling you to stop, to please listen to that. You want to be comfortable and in a pose that you can breathe in. So restorative yoga, for those of you new to the practice, is all about giving ourselves a chance to rest and restore. So again, hello. For those of you that don't know me or for meeting via live stream for the first time, my name is Veda, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. I miss the Anahata yoga community, and if you are new to us via online first, welcome, welcome. I miss all of you guys so much. Glad that we get to at least do this. So sitting comfortably, whatever that looks like for you today. Sitting up tall, close the eyes or soften the gaze. Take a sigh breath. And let yourself settle. Start by becoming aware of the room that you're in, the space that you're in. If there are any distractions, allow them to fall into the background. Settle into your body. Feel all the areas of the body that are supported by the earth, by your props. Feel the air on the skin. Sitting bones rooted, spine elongates, and the top of the head reaching to the sky. For the next few breaths, acknowledge yourself, your dedication to your self-care, that you're here, that you showed up for your practice. Energetically acknowledge your fellow yogis, your Anahata yoga community, your family, your friends, humanity. And let your awareness now rest on the breath and notice how the breath gives you the opportunity to connect to yourself and also to each other, even at a distance. Feel yourself breathing. Feel the breath come and go. Let the breath drop down to the lower abdomen, letting the inhale gently expand the belly. It builds up into the ribs, the chest. And as you exhale, releasing the breath from the top down. Bringing the hands together, Anjali Mudra at heart center. A gentle pressure between the palms. The heart floats up to meet the thumbs. We'll do 3 rounds of Om. You can join, you can hum, or you can just listen. Let's first inhale together. Sigh it out. And inhale. Releasing the hands to the lap. Take another breath here. Sigh if you need to. Let stuff go. If you need to open your eyes, keep a soft gaze. Coming into a seated bound angle. Soles of the feet together. Knees drop open. Now you can use some of your support that you have on the outer edges of the legs. If you need to bring yourself up on a higher seat, please do so. And sitting up tall. And once you've done this, bring the hands again together at heart center and rub the palms, creating heat and warmth between the hands. Eyes can close. And once the hands feel warm, placing the entire surface of the palms on the face, the finger pads rest on your closed eyes or on your eyebrows, especially if you're wearing contacts. Let the elbows rest down towards the chest. Keep the spine elongated and breathe. Feel the warmth from the hands. The muscles of the face softening. Stay like this, or keeping the eyes closed. Slide the fingertips up to the forehead and massage with the pressure that feels good for you. Getting into the eyebrows, the hairline, the temples. Going down to the joint of the jaw. Massaging that area of the face, giving the jaw some slack. Going down the edges of the jaw to the chin. And then float the fingertips up to the bridge of the nose. And with that same pressure, slide the fingers down the outer edges of the nose, around the mouth, and to the chin. Move now to the ears and massage the front and backs of the ears. Keep sitting tall. Keep the breath moving with ease. Gently pulling on the earlobes. This helps to further calm the brain. And once more, hands to the face. About 2 to 3 more deep breaths here. Let the muscles of the face soften and melt. One more breath. And slowly release the hands. We transition to table, a few rounds of cat-cows to loosen up the spine. You can always open up one of your blankets across the center of your mat for your knees. And then landing the hands to the floor, wrists relatively underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet can be to the floor or the toes tuck under. With your inhale, tailbone lifts up, belly drops, heart gaze forward. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, chin to chest. Do this a few more times. If there's any other stretches that your body is needing, go ahead and do those. Otherwise, cat-cows, flexion extension of the spine. About 4 to 5 more cycles of breath. About 2 more. When that feels good for you, return to neutral spine and we take our first restorative pose, child's pose. Now what I'll recommend is that you can keep the support underneath the knees. You might find it helpful to have support between the hips and heels. So it just depends on what kind of blankets and towels you have. We want the big toes to touch, knees to go wide. If you have the blanket underneath the knees, you're draping the top of the ankle over the back edge of the blanket. One of the options is to come down, forehead to the floor. If you need to, you can grab a pillow or towels, forehead to the support. If you want even more support, you can grab some of your bigger cushions and you can lay on those instead. Maybe on one ear or on the other ear. So take a moment, get into your restorative child's pose, and I'll be playing bowls for you guys. at any point this pose doesn't feel good, you can always come out of it. You can always come into a meditative seat, or you can sit up and stretch the legs out in front of you and fold forward instead. So do what feels best for you. This is your practice. Once you feel settled, take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Release any effort with your body. Relax into the shape. Let the breath come and go on its own. And just be. If you're currently resting on one ear, now is a good time to switch ears, otherwise stay as you are. Awareness returns to the breath. And then to the body. If you're currently resting on one ear, go ahead and slowly bring your forehead to center. And placing the hands on the floor, relatively under shoulders, press yourself up. You can move your props off to the side, bring yourself into table. Take a few rounds of cat-cows or hip releases. For your hip release, you'll widen the hands, legs come in closer than hip width apart, and gently sway the hip side to side. And again, if there's any other gentle movements you'd like to take instead, go ahead and take those now. And when that feels even for you on both sides, come onto a comfortable seat, going into Upavishta Konasana, our legs opened out wide. I recommend sitting up on a folded blanket or your pillow. And then if you are sitting up higher, put support underneath the knees. And if you have your big pillows, you can always have those in front of you to give a little hug and to support the upper body. So we'll get to that pillow in just a moment. So you're sitting in such a way that your sitting bones are both supported, legs are stretched out wide. If this is not available to you with your hips or your low back, legs can come together and just have them straight out in front of you instead. And then using your hands to move the glutes out from under you. It's the muscles of the buttocks, so that your sitting bones are even more rooted, and hands can go behind you to support, and point and flex the feet a few times. Feeling that stretch through the feet, supporting circulation. It's also a really nice joint release on the ankles. And when that feels complete for you, toes are pointing upright. Now, if this is enough for you, you might just move the pillow all together and have your hands in front of you. Stay here. You can stay further up, right? Or if you want to fold, a slight tilt of the pelvis forward, you can grab one of your bigger pillows if you have one and hinge forward. So only here for about 2 to 3 minutes. This can be really helpful in potentially releasing discomfort with sciatica. This helps to gently open up the hips, the low back. So come into the shape that feels right for you in this variation. And once you're there, I'll be playing the bell for you guys on this one. Okay, so you're in your pose. Soften the gaze, close the eyes. Deep breath in. And let it go. And allow yourself to just be. Let the breath move with ease. Physically soften the muscles in the hips, the legs, the low back. Just be. Notice if there's any areas in the body that feel constricted. See if you can soften them with your outgoing breath. Let go a little more. Few more deep breaths here. Staying in the shape that you're in. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Another deep breath in. And let it go. So we're coming out of our seated wide-legged forward fold. Press the hands into the floor first. Inhale to bring yourself up. Let the breath go. And hands can go underneath the knees. Slowly bending the knees, feet to the floor, wider than hips for one-legged windshield wipers. Lean back on the hands. Lift the heart up, maybe a gentle back bend here, and then drop one knee in at a time. The knee drops towards its opposite ankle or the opposite ankle. And try to keep the other leg fairly upright. One at a time. About 2 more to each side. And when that feels even for you, you can extend the leg straight out in front of you. I'm turning so you can see here what I'm guiding. So the legs stretch out, bounce the knees, point and flex the feet, wiggle the toes, and rock the legs side to side. Good. From here we come to laying down, and before we do, we have a few options. So option 1, if you don't have big pillows, you'll just grab your towel or your yoga blankets and fold it so it looks something like this. And this goes behind you lengthwise. You might also choose to have another towel for the head and then keep the other 2 towels within reach. So this is still for option 1. Your buttocks is on the floor, and then you'll use your hands to help bring yourself down. Maybe a light roll of the towel for underneath the neck, head is supported, and then either legs extend out long or soles of the feet together, knees drop open. You can bring support underneath the knees, either on the outer edges or if your legs are extended underneath the knees. Okay, so this is option 1. Now, if you have bigger pillows, you can grab the pillows instead, about lengthwise on the mat. Still have your additional support nearby. Buttocks is on your floor, on your mat, and then you'll bring yourself back into a reclined position, supporting the head, supporting the arms. We want to make sure elbows, back of the hands are supported. You can again extend the legs out, maybe placing support underneath the knees, or the soles of the feet together, knees drop open, and support underneath the outer edges of the legs. So we'll be here for a little while. You can grab your eye pillow or your folded face towel for the eyes. If you have extra blankets, you can place that weight of the blankets, the extra blankets across the hips. So take a moment, get comfortable. Settle in. Make any other adjustments that you need to so you're comfortable. And then once you're comfortable, release any physical effort. Relax the muscles. Let the bones be heavy. Take 2 to 3 rounds of conscious deep breaths, letting the inhale come in through the nose. It gently expands the belly, ribs, chest. And as you exhale, releasing the breath from the top point down. And with each progressive exhalation now, start to let go a little more, even releasing control of the breath. Let the breath move on its own. And allow yourself to let go. Awareness returns to the breath. If you wish to stay in the shape that you're in and skip twists, you can stay just as you are. Otherwise, awareness now returns to the body. The eyes can stay closed. Gently wiggling toes and fingers, rocking the head side to side. You'll remain reclined. So we're all reclined a little bit differently, and that's okay. So we can stay reclined for our twists. Take a full body stretch if you need one. Arms reach up overhead. Point and flex the feet. Take a sigh or yawn. And the knees bend, feet to the floor. And you'll just press down through the feet, float the hips up and to the right, lower the hips down, and then let the knees fall to the left. So we had picked up our hips and slid them to the opposite direction that our knees are going. So our hips went up to the right and down, and then knees to the left. And this is where you can grab some of your extra support, place it underneath the leg that's closest to the floor, arms by your sides, palms up. Now for those of you that want to be flat on your back for this, you can always press yourself up, move the props out, lie flat on your back, and let the knees go to the side. You can also put a blanket or a pillow between the knees if that feels a little bit better for you. We're just taking this in a really easeful way. Make sure that you're comfortable. And once you're there, deep breath in and let go. Settle in. The eyes can stay closed. Awareness returns to the breath. If you were skipping, twist, just stay where you are. If you're in a twist, you'll inhale to bring the legs back to center. Exhale there, pause. And then we twist to the other side. You'll press down through the hips, float the hips up, glide them to the left, lower hips down, and let the knees fall to the right, supporting underneath the leg closest to the floor if needed. Arms supported, settle in. Again, a blanket can go between the two knees or between the thighs. Make yourself comfortable. So we're not trying to actively stretch here. We want to feel supported in the shape. Okay, once you're there, deep breath in, sigh it out. Let go. Awareness comes back to the breath. you're in your twist, inhale the legs back to center, let the breath go. You can take a full body stretch or windshield wipers, swaying the knees side to side. So if you're reclined, you can choose to stay here in place of Shavasana, maybe just letting the legs rest out straight out in front of you. You can put a towel or pillow under the knees. You can also do the traditional Shavasana, lying flat on your back, maybe some support under the knees and a little bit of support underneath the head. Now, another option here is that you can elevate the legs. So if you want to do that, you'll grab your pillows or stack some of your towels or blankets, a little bit of support for underneath the head. And if you have the blanket or support that's underneath the whole back, you can leave it there. Okay, so draping the legs up on the pillows, laying down, adjusting the head support, grabbing your eye pillow or eye towel. You can cover up in your blanket, put an extra blanket across the hips for support, arms by your sides, palms up. So take a moment, coming into your last restorative shape for this class. Settle in. Making any other adjustments that you need to so that you're physically as comfortable as possible. And if at any point it doesn't feel good for you to lay on your back, you don't have to. You can always come out of the pose. You can turn onto your comfortable side and rest in the fetal position. If you have a sofa nearby and you'd like to sit up instead and lay back, you can do that too. Please choose what is best for you. Once you're there, deep breath in, let it go. Another deep breath in, sigh and let go. back to the breath. Remain still. Feel the breath come and go. Awareness returns to the body, gently wiggling toes and fingers, pointing and flexing feet, opening and closing the hands a few times as if you're squeezing sponges, rocking the head side to side, maybe taking a full body stretch. And you can bend the knees, feet to the floor for windshield wipers, rocking the legs side to side, or you can hug the knees into the chest depending on the shape that you're in, maybe rocking the body side to side. Gentle awakening. Rolling over to your comfortable side in the fetal position, keeping the eyes closed. Take care to support your head. Deepen the breath here. When you feel ready, still keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And bring the hands together at heart center. And with gratitude, we'll close with a single sound of Om. Receive your breath. Om. Bowing head to heart in honor of each other, ourselves, and this practice. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today. Namaste.